Ulana and new at noon, Mayor Lenny Curry will appoint 7 new members of the JEA Board of Directors. He plans to file the legislation with the City Council tomorrow. The 7 appointees are John Baker II, Joseph DeSalvo, Dr. Zachary Faison Jr., Dr. Leon Halley Jr., Marty Lanahan, Robert L. Stein, and Tom Van Osdol. Now, the mayor released a statement that says, in part, quote, "I am confident that they are up to the task of rebuilding public trust and strengthening the future of this vital and valued community asset," end quote. Now, this change comes after the Special Investigative Committee is looking into the failed sale of JEA. The appointment legislation will be introduced at the City Council meeting on February 25th.